I was out showing homes this last week, and questions kept coming up about the Iran war, mortgage rates, inflation, and home prices. And so I put together 5 real estate trends that you should know about here in Central Iowa. So the first thing you should know is headlines are designed to grab attention and even create fear. So what we have to do is go past those headlines and actually look at the real estate data and say, what is really happening to homes here in Central Iowa? So real estate trend number 1. First thing we're looking at is buyer traffic. And this graph comes to us from Showing Time. And it's software that we use to schedule showings or appointments to look at homes. And what we're looking at is data here in Story County. And the blue line is 2025, so last year, and the orange line is 2026, or what's happened so far this year. And you can see we've kind of had this steady pickup throughout the spring. That's normal, and it's actually very exciting. And it's showing that despite all those headlines and all the fear that you may be hearing out there, buyers are still confident and they're looking at homes. Trend number 2. That buyer traffic is ultimately resulting in offers. And if we look here specifically at Story County, that we can see the number of offers that have been accepted year to date is up 7.4% over last year. So that's great news. That means the buyers not only are finding houses, but they're getting their offers accepted as well. Real estate trend number 3. One of the things that I've noticed when we were out looking at homes last year is there just didn't seem to be as many homes for sale. And in fact, the number of sellers who came out this spring to put their home on the market is actually down 5% year to date as compared to the same time last year. So trend number 4, when you put those two pieces together, you got strong buyer demand and weak seller supply. Something has to give. And in fact, what we see is the number of homes for sale has been steadily declining over the last few months. And year to date, we're actually down about 4%. Now, last month in our last video, I had optimistically proclaimed that we are going to see a very strong spring. And I was hoping we were going to get to around 220 homes for sale. Now, looking at the data, I just don't know if we're going to get there. I think we are going to see more and more homes come on the market, but we may only be about where we were at last year, which is around 180. Which brings us to real estate trend number 5. This graph shows the average home price appreciation since 2021 here in Story County. And what you're going to see in Iowa is we have the slow and steady home price appreciation. It shows that buying a home in Iowa is a good, solid investment. Now, when you go and you look at the headlines for other places like maybe Texas or Florida or Massachusetts or California, they have different markets and they may see some rapid price appreciation or home prices dropping. One of the things that I am noticing in today's market is there is this disconnect between the buyer and the seller, especially in our move-up market. Buyers have this wish list of what they're looking for and a price in mind, and they're willing to wait or negotiate to get it there. And what that means for a seller is that homes that show well, are in good condition, have more updates, are more likely to sell at a higher price and a much quicker pace. The homes that need work, they don't show well, and they're overpriced will actually sit on the market much longer. And in fact, you can see it here in the data. You can see that starting back in fall of 2025, we have been slowly seeing the average time on market go way up. It was around 30 days, and now we're closer to 70 days. So what this means for a seller is it's really important to talk to a professional agent about strategy. Are we wanting to sell a home as is? That's a perfectly fine option. We just need to make sure that the price reflects that as-is condition. And if we have a home that's really nice and we've invested in updates, the buyer will appreciate that as well. For a buyer, there's 2 things to know. 1, homes that show really well and are priced fairly can sell very quickly. In fact, we've had several instances of multiple offers over the last couple of weeks. And homes that are overpriced and maybe don't show as well give us a unique opportunity. We can certainly throw out an offer and maybe we can catch a deal on some of those homes. And there you have it, folks. That's what's happening here in Central Iowa real estate. My name is Misty Metchke, and I'm a realtor with Hunsaker & Associates, here to answer all of your real estate questions. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can catch our next video. Thanks, and have a good one.